Kia ora, and welcome to Observing Nature with Damon. Thanks for joining me into part 2 of New Zealand bush birds. I was hoping to find some orange-throated parakeets or some mohua in the forest today, along with other bush birds that we've seen of bellbirds, tomtits, robins on part 1. Let's see how we go.
Bunch of parakeets here, if you can hear them. A little chattering call. Sort of a call. Not very good at it. I'm not very good at it at the moment. Where have they got to? This one got along here. They're making heaps of noise before. That's cool. Oh, yeah, that looks like them over there. So we've got 3 parakeets running in the bushes here. Oh, orange-throated parakeet. I think. There's one parakeet there, I'm not sure. There's 4 parakeets here. One's a yellow crown, one's an orange crown, I don't know that much. Confirm, orange crown parakeet. Albinos. Awesome. First one I've seen in the wild for like 5 years. Parakeet in there. Two of them right here. In the mountain beach. It's an orange shrom, look at it. See, it's orange shroms there. Orange shrom parakeet. Here with a brown creeper, flock of them. Right time of year for big flocks of birds, the brown creeper being the base of the flock. Parakeets join them, mohua, all the chirratoral birds as they come through. That's cool to see. Orange-throated parakeet. So, 4 parakeets. 1 yellow crown, 1 orange at least. The bushes over there. Pretty cool. My first footage of orange-throated parakeet in the wild. Well, recent years. Probably taken some real bad stuff in the past. Awesome. They've just flown off. We'll see if we can catch up with them again. Well, awesome. Sorry, not going to show you too much. It's pretty hard getting through the tangled scrub and trees with cables and things hanging everywhere. But awesome. Chasing parakeets in one spot there, I was real, they were like within 3 meters of me in the bushes, I couldn't even really see them. So yeah, not much good photos of footage, but awesome to be able to be so close and just enjoying observing yellow crown parakeets and orange crown parakeets. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. This is what I've come here for. Anyway, I'm getting a bit cold. I wish the sun would come out high as this high cloud covered over. It'd be nice if it would disappear and the sun came out properly. Could be a bit warmer. Because my feet are not cold. Wet, but not cold, too cold. They're cold, but not freezing. My hand's getting freezing from on the camera. Must be a bit of time for morning too. I had a snack before, but it must be time for a break from the intense following of the birds.
Just having a little break and a little snack. Need to put on my gaiters because my ankles are getting a bit caught in the bush lawyer and dirt in my shoe. I had left them off because I knew I was crossing the river, safe getting them wet. So I put my gaiters on and carry on. Try and get back to that clearing that I found that was got some good low lighting, like good low level plants for the birds to come down and some reasonable lighting of the sun coming through the cloud, which is kind of quite good, even though it's not as warm as I'd like. So yeah, just put my gaiters on. You couldn't hear me talking over there, but hopefully see. So here's my gaiter. Rubber neoprene gaiters. Fit down over my shoe, hook on the end so that stop the dirt going down there a bit more, and keep my legs a bit warmer. Stop the bush lawyer getting my ankles. I left them off this morning before crossing the rivers. Yeah, oh, here comes the tomtit. Yeah, it's cool to see the robin before, hopping around while having a break. Right, we'll go and look in this clearing, see if we can catch some birds out in the open up close, get some photos. Wow. Can hear Mohua. Can hear Mohua. This is a tomtit. I can hear Mohua.
So, just heard my first Mohua for the day. Got to figure out where they are. Somewhere in this direction over here. Yeah, it's hard to see some Mohua. Never know. Oh, it's birding. Definitely heard a Mohua, and I caught a glimpse of what I'm about 99% sure is a Mohua, but it's gone quiet and I lost it. I lost it when I repositioned. Get a bit of angle on the tree. Seen one bird fly off, I think it's a bellbird, but I don't know. Anyway, very quiet Mohua this time of year probably, obviously. Parakeets have been noisy. I'll keep your ear out, hopefully we'll find some more Mohua. So now I'm going to head around for a different location, see what we can see. It's nice since the sun's coming out now properly, so you can actually see properly. Because this is an intensely managed area for orange-eyed parakeets, lots of predator control and trapping. These trap lines across a lot of the valley. So it makes it a bit more convenient for getting around, if I can remember where they go, that is. It will change since I was here. Right, so I found a bit of a trap line of some sort. Getting down it. Yeah, that's alright. Lighting's pretty bad here. Pretty harsh line. Oh yes, this is a bait station line. Here's another bait station. Steep there. Oh, now. Right, down to a nice little creek. Now this is some nice red beech. So I just come up to a good grove of red beech, good sized ones. It's a bit more open underneath, so you can sort of see. So here's a good size beech tree just there. Going up, canopy up the top. They get really big buttresses sometimes. This one's not too big, but got sort of buttressed roots coming out. So you see the different shapes of it there. So that's Red Beech Grove or Red Beech Forest, much like this. So here's a bait station to help protect the birds. It's got rat poison in here. Look at that. Yeah, it looks pretty care-proof. That's good. So signs of change. There's an old trap box, no trap in it. So I helped build this model trap box one winter, a long time ago. Original version of traps in here were just plastic core flute boxes, not so robust, not very care-proof. Then these were replaced them, the lids just to sit on. Eventually the lids got screwed on because cares would get into them, and then eventually replace them with bigger double set trap boxes with 2 traps in them. There's a little black fantail. Completely black. Well, it's got white ears. It's got white ears. So the fantails are usually pied, but this is the black one. Right, I want to cross over to there because see if we can mow her on that side of the river. On a bit of a cliff. Don't remember this being here. We've grown a lot since I was here a long time ago. I think I've got to go up there and come down over there, I think. So we'll just come along a bit further up the river, try and get across it. Someone's been camping here before. Nice fireplace, old one. Nice grassy spot under the trees here, you can camp. You got a free camp anywhere in the national park except for within 200 metres of any road. Fire, you not really have a fire like that there. Anyway, we do. Oh, it's a nice snowy bit up there. The head of the valley there, some snow. Oh, not my choice how to get my feet wet. Gotta pull my trousers up. I want wet trousers as well. How deep's it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be over my gaiters.
Alrighty. Crossing this little river. Ah, not that little actually. It's cold, I can tell you that. It's a bit slippery. Got a nice gravel bottom, so some of it's not slippery. Just don't stand on a slippery rock. Oh no. Right, on this side of the valley. That's right, just saw a hare lopping way up there, you won't be able to see it. Not looking for hares today. Now, pull my trousers down again. Alright, going to do a bit of a swing through this terraces over here in the forest, see if we don't happen to pick up a mohua or two. So here's another track. This is a modern thing, not that modern now. A Good Nature A24. It's got a basket on the bottom there to stop Kia and Kiwi getting into it. So there's just a hole at the back, the rats and stoats can get up. Slows them down a bit too. But yeah, self-resetting trap. This one's got no gas in it. There's no gas in the end there, so it's not operating. There'll be a little cartridge sticks out the bottom of the orange bit if it was potentially live. But it's definitely not live because it's got no gas. Basically the stoat rat climbs up inside there, puts the head in there, pulls on the bait which sets a trigger, and inside here there's a piston with gas powered and rams a pin, blunt-ended pin into their head, much like how sheep are killed at abattoir. So it's basically got a bolt in there that just slams out under high speed when it's triggered by the animal, crushes the head and kills it, crushes it in the skull. Yeah, I don't know much, I haven't used A24s much, I used A12 to find it that startling, it was alright. Anyway, that's some of the technology Doc's using here to help protect. Like this little one over here. It's a tomtit. It's a female tomtit. Oh, we're going to land on my pack. Where'd she go? I don't know if she did. Oh well, in some more big red beech forest. Looking for, well, birds, particularly mohua. It's really what I'm looking for, but should really stop, not be so fussy. The lighting's not perfect anymore, but there's still sunlight on the canopy, which is good. Means you can see things when they're up in the canopy. Yeah. So yeah, when the parakeet team, on-shrine parakeet team, they look for nests. They protect the nests. They put traps, extra traps around them, and they monitor them, watch them. Sometimes they'll climb up and have a look in the nest. Or if the captive breeding program needs some new genetics, they might climb up and monitor the nest very closely, just manually or with a camera. We've got cameras that go in nowadays. And then they can, yeah, then if they can time it right, they'll take a clutch of eggs from the wild, put it under a pair of the captive birds that have got the eggs at the same sort of stage, so that they can get some different genetics back into the captive breeding program. Sorry, I'm just a bit distracted looking at this bank over here, see if I can get up it. Right, got up the bank, now managed to find a trap line, so, well, bait station line and trap line, so now it's a bit easier. It's still pretty overgrown.
So I'm up a bit of a terrace here. Well, there's another terrace behind me. Oh, parakeet. Oh, there it is. Okay, gonna have a look at that. So, if you're out bird watching and you've got birds up in tall trees like this, if you just stand around, you'll get a sore neck looking up in the trees all the time, holding your binoculars. So, when you spotted a bird, you want to ID it, you sit down on the ground like this, lie down. If you've got the pack right, you can rest your head. Haven't quite got a pillow. And then you get a lot steadier release. Oh, there's bugs flying around up there. I wonder what that is. Anyway. So yeah, I did an orange-rumped parakeet up there before. Had bands on it also. So from plastic metal bands to ID which one it is. Put on before, it was probably from the captive program. Bred in captivity and then released out here. So yeah, if you're going bird watching, don't get a crook in your neck. Lie down, use your pack when you're looking up the trees. Oh, there goes the parakeet. Just flew off. Well, a little way. Over there somewhere. Okay. So, wading through the forest. This is head height. This is all mountain beech regeneration. Right here, out of red beech. Basically just travelling through the forest, keep an ear out. See what birds, well, any birds. Also trying to make my way out. Getting close to time to start heading home. If it's too dark. Saw a track marker over there, or a track line marker. Line. Oh, a creek bed. Don't remember this one. Yeah, down there somewhere. A little stream. Well, across it or not, I can't remember. Long time since I've bashed around these forests. Oh, I think we'll head over that way and cross it. Up down the hill here. This is where my shoes come in handy with the big 8mm deep lugs of the Innovate XT255. No longer in production, still buy them. They're running out though around the country, around the world. But yeah, my favourite shoe of the last few years, partly because of the tread. Great on the steep, mossy, loamy country. It's designed for running around in mud in the fells of Scotland. Somewhere will get under here, across here. Oh. Squeeze under here. Oh, there's a nice little string. Except I'm caught on a tree. Alright. There's a nice little ferny stream. Ferns down the side of it. It's a little stream crossing. Righty, come out of this creek, a little pool, probably some native fish in here somewhere. Always hard to find native fish, well generally, not always, but in this little river. Oh, nice little stream, but sometimes I've forgotten what it's like fishing through the forest. I haven't done it for a while. Well, not for extended pieces like this. Not that I'm going for that long. Maybe a branch wants to see me anyway. Whoopsie. Caught on a tree. Yeah, coming another terrace. No, is that the creek I just crossed? No. Oh, you can hear the big river. Got to get out to there anyway. Yeah. There's a bit of a clearer bit made by a fallen tree, sort of. Lovely green moss here. Nice green moss. That's one thing about living in Arthur's Pass is that it's green. I grew up in northern Canterbury where it's dry. Summertime the ground burns off. But here everything's always green. Well, apart from the mountain tops. The mountain tussock and the rock on the white on top. So now I'm just using the sun on my right as a guide, so I keep going the right way. Not likely to get lost in a little valley like this. But I've got lost in similar flat areas before. Well, not lost, missed directioned, disorientated for a few hours. Not in this forest or in the national park in the North Island. There's some big flat areas, no mountains or sun to orientate me from me. Right, another trap line. See how we get on. I'll come to the edge of the forest. Didn't hear any Mohua on that sweep of the forest, but I did see an orange front, and not every day gets an orange front. I've done 10-day trips and I only seen one orange front, looking for them full time. So it's pretty cool. Back out into some sunshine. Some river terraces. Whoa. Nice mossy ground here.
Okay, so here we have a young red beech tree out on the bush edge. So it's got leaves down low unusually. Big towering giants in the forest. So you can see it's got quite big leaves. Comparatively to the mountain beech tree. So yeah, it's red beech leaves. And over here we've got the mountain beech. They're a lot smaller. See my hand there, they also don't have any serrations. They're sort of just a oval with a point on it. Whereas these ones, sort of a similar shape, oval, but they have serrations around the edge. So silver beech also have serrations, but they have smaller leaves than this, about halfway between this and a mountain beech, on the one I just showed you. And they have smaller, more pointy serrations than these red beech. So yeah, so that's a red beech tree and red beech leaves as opposed to mountain beech. Right, I found a river. Here's a river. And oh look, there's a track. That's nice. Proper tramping track. Got a well-worn trail. And it's got a goofus carrying a selfie stick walking down it. Namely me. It's also a trap line, but it's a tramping track primarily. I have the odd trap line, trap box along. Just saw another kiwi poo just there. Nice time of day, the sun's starting to go down, light angles are changing, good mix of shadows and sun. Still pretty good for photography at the right angle. Just have a quick look at the road, checking there were no handy blue ducks. I don't think there's blue ducks regularly in this section of the road. They're further up and then right down. Yeah, further up and then down up a side stream elsewhere. But they probably come through here pretty regularly-ish, but I don't think they'll be permanently here. Here's a nice broadleaf tussock. The name because it's got broad leaves. Looks a bit like pampas grass, but doesn't have the serrated edges. Or toy. Anyway, it's a good specimen growing out in the open, the sheltered but good shaded area, well, semi-shaded, protected area, not too exposed. It's nice and upright. Broadleaf tussock, one of about 3 tussocks that we commonly have around here. It's almost as, well, that's about my chest height, so fairly tall. So here's another broadleaf tussock. This one's had a big flower this last year. It's got these great big tussock heads like toy sort of, but it's not toy. It's a broadleaf tussock. This is a good, about as big as they get really. Don't get much bigger than that for a tussock. So broadleaf tussock. Had a good seeding year. Light up there just catching some red beech, so it's got mountain beech along the bottom here. Sort of along here is mountain beech. And then up, the red beech starts up in here. You can see the lighter colour of it, goes way up over here and then down to here. So there's a big tuft of red beech up there. And right up past it, or on the top of it up here, it can look like there's silver beech up there as well. Silver beech tends to go higher up, but not necessarily. So I think there's some silver beech right up there. I might be wrong. Yeah, it looks like something amongst the red beech, but I could be wrong. It's a wee way away. Anyway, so you've got mountain beech on the bush edge and then a swath of red beech. Not so common for a red beech to go right to the bush edge, sometimes. Usually the mountain fills in the gaps on the side. Nice view up that valley. The river goes quite a way up around the corner somewhere. Bit of snow up high, nice. Might notice I'm not quite as enthusiastic as I was at the start of the day, feeling a bit tired. Been walking on and off, standing around. Got a couple of hours walk to get back to the vehicle now. Right, a jumbo to cross. About falling in. Pull up my trousers again. Yep, don't do this at home. Don't fall over. Yep, don't do this at home, as they say. Don't boulder hop unless you're a trained professional like me, highly trained at falling over and recovering. I don't actually fall over that much nowadays. Sometimes, occasionally. Anyway. I almost fell over that time in the water, rolling rock. So I need to have good balance doing that sort of thing. Not much of a track here. Oh. Let's stick to the bush. Might be some birds along here. Oh, a bit of a green light at the moment. Little green moss. Homeward bound, homeward bound, homeward bound we go, ho, ho. Homeward bound, homeward we go. Do, 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 do. Always go faster going home, just like a horse. Always break my track records, or get my fast track records, always on the way out. Never on the way in somewhere. Not that I want to break any records today or go fast. Just fact of life. That's how it goes. Like a horse to water, as they say. Crunch of gravel under my feet, crunch of gravel under my feet, diddly-dee. Big grassy flats. Not so many of them in this valley. Well, there's quite a few in this valley actually. Not so many of these in the national park. Big valleys have grassy flats, but... So here's a live capture trap for feral cats specifically. You can catch possums and other things in them as well. This one's not set, the door's closed.
So the door's closed there, hasn't been set for a while, all the grass growing out of it. Trigger plate's grown to the grass, hasn't been set for a year or two. On the top here it's got a celium node for an aerial, so that's a radio transmitter that tells when, around here you can see there's a little doodacky, little magnet, so it tells when it gets triggered and something goes in there. So when they're using them, which are not using them at the moment, I haven't got enough funding to run them, dock that is. Yeah, it's just coming into the cat season for cat trapping, so ideally they would be being trapped anyway. It's a big job in here, there's lots of these traps and it's a full-time job for one person all winter, which Doc hasn't got the funding for at the moment. Anyway, beside the point. So the celium node has got the trigger there, so when the trap's set, I won't play with it because it's not mine, but yeah, so when the door's open, the magnet's up, and that radio's down to a node, to a hub, a radio hub, which is connected into the cell network, which is connected obviously to the internet. And so when they're all set, someone monitors it online, and someone comes around, sets them all at the start of a week or 10-day trip, and then has to be available to come and check any ones that get triggered. So they check the emails and the website each morning, see if any of them are triggered. Any that are triggered, they have to come out, bring a rifle, and see what they've caught. If it's a care or a hawk sometimes, then it can get let go and there's no harm done. Even an odd kiwi, it's pretty rare to catch a kiwi in them, and they can be let go without any harm or damage to them. They were just caught for half a night or something, or maybe a night. But if it's a possum or a cat which is targeting, then yeah, gets euthanized with a rifle and disposed of. So yeah, then it gets reset again, put some fresh bait in there, some fish or some fresh meat of some sort, ideally some tuna, and then it's reset, and then the trigger gets reset there as you set the door, and then it radios into the network down the valley and into the internet, into your website, and says that it's set, no longer triggered. And then if there's no one available to monitor it each day and come up here each day to deal with triggered ones, then someone has to spend a whole day or two coming around and unsetting all the traps, closing them like this, and they shut up for the season or for the week. So as I was saying about the live capture traps, it saved a lot of time, because to check 100 traps you'd probably need 2 or 3 people to check them every day, because you can't leave live traps unchecked for animal humane reasons. And here's a beautiful little tomtit. Anyway, he's flying away. So yeah, so having the radio nodes tracking the doors and the cages to know if they're triggered or not, know whether there's an animal in there or not, saves a lot of, or makes it doable to do such large scale trapping. Still a lot of work, it's a lot of expense. Those nodes are like, I think about $150 each. Trap's going to be about $100. Well, those are, it looks like a cheap one, but might be 50. But you can pay up to $500 for a good quality trap. Bigger one than that. Yeah. So, yep, that's live cage traps. So it takes quite a while to check them. And so yeah, someone's got to spend a whole day or two baiting them all, and then monitoring them for a week, or however long their work stint is, 10 days, 9 days, and then they have to spend a day or two closing them all down again. At least there's someone else to come on shift and take over and monitoring them, coming up each day and checking all the triggered ones. Probably get 2 or 3 out of that sort of numbers. You're probably going to get 2 or 3 triggered ones a day, and you might have to walk. I don't know. Well, these ones, they can probably allow to drive up to these ones on a motorbike, but it still takes you quite a bit of time. If you've got one that's 10 k's down the valley, around the corner, spend quite a bit of time checking your traps. But catch the odd cat, and one less cat in the wild is better than any, because cats are probably one of the worst things around native wildlife after stoats, if not 4. Probably less research done on wild cats than stoats maybe. And cats do go right up the bushline here, up in the snow, over the snow, and particularly in the summer they're up on these tops, go over the next valley, into the next valley and back again, travel easily 20 kilometres a day if they want to. So yeah, wild cats get around, you don't see them because they're quite secretive. You start seeing them, it's a bit worrying, you know there's lots of them. And when we say lots, it's not like this valley might have 10 in it regularly, maybe 20 at a guess. So might be a lot more than that. But when they were doing some research on them, they caught 10 in this valley over a 3 or 4 month period. Anyway, that's live trapping feral cats. How it's done nowadays in New Zealand. Mushroom, fungi. There's a river, there's a stream flowing by the track I take, doodly-doo, 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 and there's a hole, don't fall into it. One of my favourite bits of forest track in this valley. It goes along the little spring creek all the way along the side. It's a wonderful spot. Nice leafy walkway, tumbling stream through the forest and the lichens and the grasses. Coming to the end of the day. Just heard the farewell of a robin singing to me. Thanks for joining me observing nature with Jamin today. Glad we could get out into the forest and see some birds. Saw some Kakariki. Pretty cool to see orange-fronted parakeets. Not many of them around in the world. And I caught a glimpse of Mohua, but didn't get to show you that. Maybe another day. Yeah, we saw some robins, some tomtits, and some bellbirds. That was a cool experience with the bellbirds. Okay, catch you around.